Hey everybody, welcome to vlog number 6. I'm finding doing these vlogs a little bit hard. Usually the first week, if you try something new, it's like, oh yes, I'm on it, I'm on it. But today it's like, ugh. I think it's just because today I was out and about all day. I went on a road trip with my partner to just different parts of California. So we went to Marin. I've never explored Marin because I think when I was growing up here in the Bay Area, we only just stayed in the East Bay area, South Bay, where the rest of my family is, and the peninsula where my mom worked. So it was really fun. Leo says hi. He's my favorite cat. He's my only cat. And today, what I really wanted to talk about is just knowing my limits. I think one of the things that many people have told me throughout my life is that I do way too much. I never believed them. I always thought I could do it all. And I think that's why I really gravitated towards moving to New York after I was done with undergrad in San Diego, because I just love the hustle and bustle, the energy, the New York minute mentality of always trying to do more, always fitting everything in. No one ever sleeps there. And I just ran off of that energy for a really, really long time. And I think the older that I get, the more I realize just how much I do and just how unsustainable it actually is. And I remember when I was in college, people used to always tell me, even my very, very first boss at my internship, she's like, you just always have a plan. You're always doing something. And even classmates that I would have projects with, they would tell me, you don't ever sleep, do you? I don't know. I just like always had a plan. And even doing inner work, joining so many different types of programs, having so many different mentors, having so many different coaches, all of that stuff. It was just, I think for me, the first time where I actually started to settle in and slow down was when I was moving back to California from New York. And I actually had space to breathe and reflect and really realize what was going on with me. I think when I was younger, when I was living in New York, it was definitely a coping mechanism for not having to deal with myself, of always keeping busy. And it's funny because I actually watched the finale. I think I mentioned it during the last vlog or the 2 vlogs ago, that I watched the finale of the Kardashians, and Kim was also saying, because she's such a workaholic, that there's something in her that needs to kind of stop and reflect on, like, why is she always working? What is she hiding from? And that lesson really hit me today, because this morning I'm doing, I'm still doing the requirements for my yoga. And we have to take 20 additional classes, 20 hours. And the reason why we do that is because after you end some big, big training, all of a sudden the momentum just stops, because you're not forced to go take yoga. You're not forced to be in training modules all day. You're not forced to do your sauna. Realistically, the practice is just you doing it yourself. And so I actually think it's a great forcing function to continue the momentum after you've done something really big, for you to just continue to be on that track. And I do love it. But for me, it's like, how can I jam everything in a short amount of time so that I can be done the fastest? And today I woke up, I was like, okay, I have to wake up for yoga. And then I had to do this Zoom call, because I did this 9-month program in addition to like my really intense Kundalini training. I did this 9-month program of really diving into the divine feminine world. And at one point, I would say probably towards the last 2 to 3 months that I was in that program, I was just ready. I was done. And I know for me, I go into things super hard. I get super excited about it. I sometimes have shiny object syndrome, and I just go with it because I just get so excited. But sometimes I just need to stop and think, how is this going to fit in my life? How will I feel afterwards? And that's something that I don't really think about too much. And so today I really feel like that I learned those 2 lessons again, because one, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do yoga. And it's like, anytime I find myself thinking of the words have to, then ultimately it's like I'm forcing myself to. And that doesn't come from a good place of enjoying your life, right? Like, and even the teacher was saying that today. She said, the experience of life, you're supposed to experience pleasure. And sometimes when you're like checking your boxes, or like there's goals that you have to hit, and people talk about all the time, like enjoying the journey as opposed to like focusing so much on the destination, because where do you get the pleasure out of that? Where do you get to enjoy life? Where do you get to find that happiness within it? And so, even today when I was on the Zoom call for that program, I was like, oh, I'm so ready to be done with this. I can't wait. And I just remember being so excited about it when I signed up in December, and I even had this application that I did, and all of these things. And so for me, like, I know over myself, maybe anything above 6 months, that's a difficult commitment for me. Especially someone who does a lot of like really intense trainings. I know, like, okay, probably one a year. And then even thinking about the trainings or programs that I want to do for other people, my offerings, like, I know anything above 6 months also, people get fatigued. And so really thinking about like, how do you work with that, or how do I work with that in myself? And so I am actually really excited to, like, I don't have any trainings coming up. I don't have any other programs that I'm doing. I'm always in some type of educational component because I love learning. It's just always been a part of me. I always have a lot of education. People always ask me, like, when are you going to stop learning? But for me, that's just always going to be a fabric of my life. Like, I just really love to live my life like that. But I have to be really careful. And so an additional lesson that I got today was how can I embody the hare, not the hare. I am embodying the hare. It's like the tortoise and the hare. The hare is basically a bunny. And the whole point of that is just like the bunny is just like super fast and patient, but then eventually like they're competing against this race, and then the tortoise wins, it takes its time. And so I really need to understand, like, why am I trying to be so fast in certain goals? Is it because I want instant gratification? Why don't I just take my time with it? Because time and time again, it's always shown that I've been really burnt out, and then I need to take a break, and then I shut down and I can't do the thing that I was really excited about, or continue the commitment that I have and go all in with it at a consistent speed. And so those were the two lessons that I learned today. And, something in Kundalini that does help with that has become like one of my go-tos, is doing this specific meditation slash Kriya. It's called Kirtan Kriya. And it's really good to help you, especially if you can't like go to sleep. If you have a hard time relaxing, it's actually really good. I did mention it in a previous blog that it's actually really good for cognitive capabilities. It's helping you retain your memory. And when you're in that repetitive motion, or repetitive, like mantra and words consistently, it just helps you become in a trance. And so, and it's funny because I was thinking about today, I was thinking, oh, I do want to share that. And so even today in our yoga session, we did have that as the meditation towards the end. And so that is something that I really love doing. And essentially what you do is you focus. I'm going to do a 3-minute demo with you. I'm not going to do the full thing because the full thing is 11 minutes, and it's you close your eyes. So anytime I explain something, it's like always think about the drishti, which is your eye gaze. And so you close your eyes, you're going to focus on the brow, the space in between the brow point, and your hands are going to be palms facing up on your knees. You're going to be sitting cross-legged style. We call it easy pose in Kundalini yoga. And what you will do is touch your index to thumb, Sa, so the mantra is Sa Ta Nama, which means infinity, life, death, and rebirth. So you are meditating on the totality of life. You're meditating on the cycles of life, right? And so Sa, index to thumb, Ta, middle to thumb, Na, ring finger to thumb, Ma, pinky to thumb. And so that's what you will be doing. And you will imagine an L shape. So imagine that your crown is open and the angelic gold light is just filling your mind. and you are emanating that energy out from your brow point, right? So it's cleansing your mind. And essentially what this does is just help you relax. So if you find yourself super stressed, you can do this quick meditation. You can even teach children it if they are super activated and crying a lot. And you can just teach them this mantra. And so what we will do is do a quick one. I wonder if here, let me open Spotify. I'm going to type quick Satanama, short Kirtan Kriya. Oh yeah, there is a short version. No, but I think the short version is literally 11 minutes because the longest one you can do is, yeah. Okay, let me see. Kirtan Kriya. Yeah, no, everything is 11 minutes. Okay. But I will drop the song. And so essentially what you're doing is chanting Sa Ta Na Ma. Your eye gaze is going to be at the third eye point. And when you do the full version of 11 minutes, it'll be aloud. You'll chant it out loud. Then it'll be a whisper. Then it'll be silent. Then it'll be a whisper. And then it'll be silent again. Or no, whisper, then it'll be loud. And then you are done. Okay. So let's get to it. Let me share my computer sound, advanced, computer audio. Yep. All right. Oh, this is way too loud. Okay. So that's what we'll do. We'll just do 3 minutes of it. Cool. Cool. Okay.
Satanama, 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 Satanama,
The whisper now. Eye gaze at the third eye point. Press your fingers. So just inhale here. And exhale. And just meditate. And just notice how calmer you feel. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. So good, so good. And that is something that you can practice before you go to sleep. If you have a hard time going to sleep, it's something you can teach children if they're super activated, if they're angry. And it's something that I really love to do. I was feeling really stressed out. Like I notice even I'm quiet, I'm like, oh, I'm zen now. But that just always puts me into that beautiful space of remaining calm, remaining centered, remaining anchored. And so if you find yourself needing to ground, that is a beautiful, quick exercise you can do just for 3 minutes. Or you can do for the full 11 minutes or 31 minutes, whatever's up to you, however much time you have. But thank you so much for tuning in, for joining. Leave a comment. Would love to hear what you think about these vlogs. And I'm having a lot of fun experiencing the different emotions that come up as I do it, reflecting on my day. I did notice I haven't been journaling just because I have this vlog to kind of just be a bookend to my day to share what's coming up. But it's just been a really fun practice. I am going to be traveling for all of pretty much all of August. I'll be going to Sonoma, then Denmark. So I will include that in this vlog experience, but always grateful to be here, grateful to the people that watch and engage with me. Would love to know what you think. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.